Recorded Books presents a Griot audio production, The Morning After, by Kendra Norman-Bellamy and Hank Stewart. This unabridged recording is narrated by Kevin R. Free. This book is copyrighted 2010 by Kendra Norman-Bellamy and Hank Stewart. This recording is copyrighted 2010 by Recorded Books, producer and publisher of Griot Audio, celebrating the best in contemporary African American fiction and nonfiction. And now, The Morning After.
Prologue. Ms. Essie was dead, but life still had to go on. How to make that happen, no one was exactly sure. Somehow the people she left behind had to find a way to pick up the pieces and move forward. In the short time that her neighbors had come to know her on a personal level, Essie Mae Richardson had become the glue that held them together. Now that she was gone, so was their adhesiveness. Slowly but surely, they were falling apart. She had lived a long, full life, but for those who had only recently gotten to know her, Ms. Essie had been taken away from them way too soon. The morning after she slipped away peacefully in her sleep, all of the newly established friends of the 77-year-old woman tried to muzzle their emotions in order to honor their promises to her. Just a day before Essie went to join her beloved husband Ben in heaven, several of the residents of the Braxton Park subdivision agreed to put all of their plans on hold and go to Sunday morning worship with her. They'd had no idea that Essie wouldn't be there with them, but a promise was a promise. It seemed like the entire city was mourning the death of the community's pillar, or maybe that's just the way it felt to the people who loved her the most. The funeral home where her body was still being prepared for burial had hung a beautiful black satin wreath on her door, and dozens of the people who lived in neighboring houses had placed roses, cards, and stuffed animals on her porch. It was clear that Essie was adored, loved, perhaps, even more deeply than she'd known. Whether they had a personal connection with her or just remembered her as the wise old woman who sat on her front porch, waving at nearby neighborhood children, knitting a new blanket, or swaying in her rocking chair as she sang songs or read her Bible, everyone who had been touched by Essie's life had also been affected by her death. At times, a sense of hopelessness seemed to encircle her former neighborhood. Her vacant porch, the car that no longer left the driveway on Sunday mornings, and the absence of the tantalizing aromas that used to seep from her kitchen all the way out into her front yard. All of them were signs that Essie no longer lived at 216 Braxton Way. The morning after her death, the forecast didn't warn of rainfall. But right when that Sunday morning service was just getting into full swing, water fell from the sky and delivered a wave of flash floods to the whole of Georgia's capital. "Listen at that," Reverend Owens said, gazing at the ceiling of the church as he took the podium and opened his Bible in preparation to deliver the sermon of the day. "Jesus and the angels done shouted so hard in celebration of Sister Essie's homecoming, till heaven done sprung a leak." Those simple words immediately lightened the dismal mood that had encompassed the sanctuary from the moment the announcement was made that the church's oldest member had passed away. As soon as Reverend Owens had finished his declaration, the bow-tie-wearing organist rolled his fingers across the keys of the 10-year-old Hammond 926 classic organ, and the music that burst forth seemed to light a fire under the behinds of more than half the worshippers. From the pulpit to the back door, men and women, old and young alike, began dancing to the music and the beat of the drums. All of a sudden, the gathering that had started out as a dignified service to honor Essie's memory turned into a shout-a-thon worthy of a video clip on YouTube. Men sprinted around the building like they'd suddenly become Carl Lewis. Women danced out of their hats, wigs, and even a few...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?